Welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of the Irish Fitness Podcast. Today's guests, we have top of the leaderboard for the Irish at the moment, Mr. P.D. Savage, and then owner of 80/20 and coach extraordinaire, Mr. Neil Laverty. Boys, how are we doing?
All good, thanks.
Good. Yeah, good. We're enjoying the season so far.
Yeah.
Liking the workout so far. Obviously there's only 2 in and there's 3 weeks in total, but we're enjoying everything at the moment. Congratulations, Petey, on another couple of wins. You're sitting pretty at the moment at the top of the Irish leaderboard. How did the first 2 workouts go for you?
Thanks very much. It went well. Probably didn't expect maybe the likes of the first one to go as well as it did, but then I've been doing a lot of wall walks for the past year, so Neil's made clear of that. But yeah, just happy with the workouts, not getting any way carried away at the minute, because obviously things change a lot in a few weeks. It's all about come quarterfinals and things. But yeah, I guess it is nice to see that the work we've put in is paying off.
Excellent,
yeah,
excellent.
Cool.
And how are you getting on, Neil, so far with coaching your athletes?
Grand. I mean, everybody's doing really well. When you look across the leaderboards, we've got people in masters, in neuromuscular, in male, female team are doing okay as well. So yeah, I can't complain, and it's good to see some of our maybe more unknown athletes who wouldn't have that big of a profile actually doing well and sitting pretty high on leaderboards in their various divisions.
I saw that. You mentioned there you have a neuromuscular athlete. Could you tell us a little bit about that? I thought it was fantastic. They are including, people with different disabilities and stuff. What's the athlete's name and what exactly is the category?
Yeah, so his name's Fallon. So if you look on the neuromuscular thing, you'll see him with an American flag. He's originally from the States, but he lived here with his wife and his kid. Ben got diagnosed, I think, maybe 3.5 years ago with MS, but he's been a member of mine for a long time. And then recently he's been starting to feel good, training's been feeling good, and he just asked me would I coach him, see if he had a chance of going to the games. So I think he's sitting 9th at the minute. He has to be in the top 20, which I think he'll comfortably do, and then our goal is to get him into the top 5 so we can make the games. But yeah, it's nice to work with somebody in a different division as well. It was great setting tag in my first games athlete as a youth, and then Joanne's a master, and then a few individuals. So the goal would be potentially to get the team there, and then an adaptive athlete, and that would check pretty much all the categories across the board.
Cool. And Neil, was that something that you tried to do when you saw those divisions come about? Was it something where you wanted to actually work with some of that, or did it kind of fall in your lap?
It kind of fell in my lap because Ben's a member here and has been a member for a long time. However, it was something when I looked at it, when I'm chatting to other coaches around the world, it would be nice to kind of do the Grand Slam coaching in terms of, getting every athlete in every division to the games would be something that a coach I think could be proud of whenever they hang up the reins and stop coaching.
Brilliant. Petey, we were talking the other day about obviously there's not as much of an emphasis on the Open now in terms of you don't have to be the national champion to get to the games. Is being the national champion still a priority of yours? Obviously you're all competitors, you all want to get into it. Are you going to be sad if you're not? Or are you going to be absolutely elated if you are the national champion after the 3 weeks?
Well, I think does it not mean as far as you get to the season? Is that not how you're prime national champion? I think.
Well, I think is it that or is it the Open? I think they still give credit for the national champion.
I think you still get it, don't you? Did Sam get it last time and they give you a cert or whatever, but it doesn't make a difference on your season, obviously. It's all about the qualifying.
I think it's better than how far you get the season. To be honest, this year, if it not being national champion to get to the games, I wouldn't care, prefer to get to the games. But don't get me wrong, we definitely would like to have that number 1 spot. But to say the ultimate goal this year is just to qualify for the games. So if both happen, it would be a pretty good year. Yeah,
I agree. I'm sure that you still, as we were talking about, it still has to be some kind of a priority. It's not going to be our main goal, but it definitely would be. I'd like to be the national champion again.
Yeah, for sure. Don't get me wrong. People are saying the Open doesn't matter and all this sort of thing. But quarterfinals are 2 weeks afterwards, so you need to be firing all cylinders pretty much to be able to go hard then. So I have just been doing open workouts once, but at the same time, I've had a good focus on them. I've come in with a different attitude and made sure that they're ready to hit it. It's not like just a typical training day. So definitely, I wanted to make sure I got one done. And I'm sure, well, they appreciated that because in previous years it's been like 3 and done. So it just means you can be able to continue your training for the rest of the weekend. So it's definitely haven't been more than likely. I've definitely gone up them. Typically in repeats you would normally do better.
I think it's for me as coaching and for PD as an athlete, it's a really good confidence builder. So this year we made the call, one and done, the open doesn't matter, you're going to continue on your training block, we're going to still focus on peaking for quarters. So, I think he's 45th in the world without even peaking or already concentrating on it. So that's a big confidence booster for us, that we know that we're moving in the right direction, considering there's still much more to bring to the table. So it just makes me more confident, goes in how the season looks ahead.
Absolutely. And what will training look like now? Obviously, you're only doing these workouts once. There's not massive importance because you're going into that 10% into that quarterfinals. What's training looking like then going forward? Is it going to be like a big focus on the quarterfinals or some kind of taper, or are you just setting your sights on the semis?
I maybe will answer that, but it's going to be a small taper in the quarters. So obviously a bit of a taper and try and be feeling good for quarters, because ideally going into semi-finals you want to be in top 8, So every we want to be going with all the top guys, and then
30 minutes.
So a small peak, but the main focus not semi-final, but there will be a small taper for the quarters.
Okay, brilliant. And lads, I suppose I saw that you made a big change to your social media. I think it was kind of obvious to a lot of people that are following you in Ireland and stuff, of the systems thing kind of went out the window and you changed your whole, I suppose, brand and what you're doing to Origin training. Can you tell us a bit about that and what that kind of looks like now?
I've been running system training now for probably 8 years. PD's been coaching with me now for 4 or 5 years, and it just made sense to maybe go into a partnership and give PD more buy-in and ownership of what we were trying to do and what we were trying to do. And to be honest, running the gym here, looking at potentially purchasing another gym, competing in other aspects and other athletes, I want to take a little bit of time away from it, and PD was happy to step in and take more of a head coach role and help me with the program design, managing athletes and stuff like that. So it just made sense at that point to, system was a really critical thing for 8 years, and we had a huge amount of success with it, but let's make this something different, completely separate, where we both have ownership of it and we're both trying to push it forward.
Okay, brilliant. And I suppose the sport is kind of going that way in Ireland. I know we're only kind of getting started as a community, I think, of pushing the kind of competitive thing. Now coaches seem to be popping up everywhere. And you could probably say that you guys were the kind of, you kind of started all this, you know what I mean? I don't think before you guys there was really anyone doing that, so fair play to you. And it was actually great to see as a coach myself, like, pushing the boundaries of like you said, trying to get the Grand Slam, people trying to go to the games and stuff like that. And I feel like when I saw you redo your whole social media, I was like, oh, that's like stepping up professionalism as a coach all over it again. So fair play to you, it's really good to see. And then another thing was you're starting a competition. Can you tell us a bit about that as well? Have you something going on in 80-20 soon?
Yeah, so just in terms of the name of Origin, that's kind of why the inspiration came from it. I think like the kind of was the original competitive CrossFit group, and just have all that history behind it. So kind of felt like it was a fitting name to try and bring that sort of competition community together. But then for the competition in the 25th, 26th of June, we've seen so many competitions done. As you know, we do it so well all the time. But it's such a market now in the fitness industry, like everybody wants to compete, and there's so many different levels of people, and we just want to be able to cater for all them levels, so people to come and be able to do beginner competition and not like be expecting the regional standards that they can't do, so that's why we kind of really try to break it down into different categories, and just really give everyone their day essentially. We do want to cap it as well, so basically anyone who makes it past quarterfinals this year, they're not allowed to enter. I think it's not really fair. People are coming to a competition and then they're just like, oh, what's the point of me entering because these two want to win? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we've seen that enough now in Ireland, because Ireland is such a small place.
No one wants to see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I sort of want to cap it there. Just make it a really good day, a good weekend for everybody.
Yeah.
And what date is that again, lads? Sorry.
It's the 25th and 26th of June.
Brilliant. I'm sure we'll get a great crowd for that.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to send a few ups here. So
we saw kind of big upheaval, lads, over the last few months or whatever, or weeks in the CrossFit thing with Castro going. Neil, what do you think is going to happen with the games now going forward? And do you think it'll be much of a difference? Or obviously Castro was a massive part of programming and the entertainment side of things. Do you think we'll see much of a difference?
I think you'll slowly sort of transition into a much more professional sport. I mean, Dave Castro has been great for the sport. He was the personality, the love-hate personality, and he drove the media brilliantly, and the sport wouldn't be where it is without them. However, I think maybe at the top level with CrossFit, having come from the corporate world myself before I got into CrossFit, the smartest thing to look at, does he have the strengths and the ability to actually manage a proper international sport at the very highest level, like at the level of the Olympics or something? And maybe that's the reason why it was changed, to maybe bring someone in or to bring a new drive, a new focus in the sport to bring it to that level. I mean, some of the events I thought the games were great tests of fitness, but in terms of watching them, if you were a beginner or you didn't know much about CrossFit and you were watching, the freestand, handstand, push-up workout, I mean, you'd have been lost. You wouldn't have a clue what was going on, and that might turn you off from ever wanting to watch CrossFit again. So I think there's some reason behind that, more as a business structure thing, and trying to push it into the modern era and make it a really, really international top-class sport.
I think you're right. I think having one man as the figurehead to, like you said, an international sport, and that's what it is, and that's what we want it to be going forward, would be a mistake, because everything hinges on that man then, and he might be a magnet for negative press or whatever it is. So if he makes a fuck up, then the whole sport and the whole brand gets a bad name, like we saw with Glassman.
Yeah.
If Glassman wasn't so opinionated or so out there, if it was just CrossFit the brand, then all that mess never would have happened. And I think Castro had the potential to kind of do something mad eventually, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. And like you said, it happened with Glassman, obviously. You had games athletes saying they're literally not going to go to the CrossFit games unless this guy steps down. So maybe they saw that rose, and maybe saw that coming down the pipeline with something like Castro. If something did happen, they don't want the athletes to turn against the sport again. I can kind of see what Neil's saying as well, of like the structure of it. Like, some of those workouts. Another one I was thinking of is the ring handstand push-ups at the CrossFit Games a couple of years ago. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a worse display of like what are they doing? And you have Matt Fraser getting these no reps, and then you have other people getting reps, and they're doing the same reps, and it just didn't look good from the outside looking in. But then sometimes it looks brilliant, so yeah, we'll probably see a big change that way, won't we?
I think so.
I don't think big organisations, generally do make changes at the top level of their management structures. Not necessarily, and people always think, Castro must be a bad person, he must have done something wrong, or it's a negative on him. It could be the fact that they want to change, they want a little bit more drive, they want a little bit more motivation, and they just want to make a change that way. So it might not necessarily be anything he's done, it's just, hey, we need to restructure things and we're going to move forward in a different direction. You've done a great job for the last 15 years. You'll see you later.
I think so. Well, look, I'm sure whatever happens with it anyway, it's going to keep going forward. The numbers seem to be good in terms of participation. Yeah. The gyms are strong. People love the sport as well. I love watching it. Yeah. I love sitting down and seeing good athletes doing what we do. Obviously to a much higher level, like Petey and the lads and stuff like that. But I'm sure the sport is going to go forward in a positive kind of a manner, because there's no person there to mess things up either way. Boys, really appreciate you coming on. We're going to have a look at the leaderboards after this. Neil, would you like to give a shout out to anyone, brother?
Hey,
all the athletes. So all the 20 out, all the 80-20s.
Yeah, and then just give a shout out to anybody that's doing their best in CrossFit Open, especially, we've seen people in the gym do things that they never thought possible to do. And I would say the biggest thing that people should get out of the Open, people who are just sub-elite, is that you're always capable of more than you think, and take that attitude moving forward into your gym and into your training, and you'd be shocked at what you can do next year. Absolutely.
Petey, shout out for anyone in particular?
Guys, to be honest, just everyone doing the Open, just finish strong and enjoy it. Everyone can get caught up a wee bit, and the competition play, great to do, but just enjoy it and bring it in.
Excellent, man. I love the attitude, and I love the way you're always so humble. Thanks for coming on, boys. Really appreciate it. Best of luck with the rest of the season for you, Petey. Obviously, I hope you get to the games, and Neil, with all your guys as well. I hope they do fantastic, and I hope you get to go over there as well and to do well.
Cheers, guys.
So now we're going to take a look at the 22.2 leaderboards, basically the week 2 leaderboards. We had 22.1 last week, 22.2 this week, the deadlifts and the burpees. So things have shifted a little bit. You know, you'll see that, as we talked about last week, Shane, the kind of more familiar names start to rise to the top. Yeah. Still, some people we're not normally familiar with, you know, they wouldn't be regulars on the scene or whatever, but some fantastic scores gone in. You know, a few of the Irish athletes finished it, which was an amazing feat, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's quite a few finishes there, even from guys who aren't necessarily elite are finishing the workout. One in particular I'm looking at here is Kyle Doherty. Sub 9 minutes on that is a great score. Now, I'm sure he's a great athlete, but it's not someone we always see at the top of these leaderboards. No. But I think he was on the rise the past 2 years as well, looking over his stuff.
Petey got fantastic. Shout out to Petey. Yeah. We just had him on.
Petey and Sam.
8:34. Sam wasn't much further behind him then, only about 14 seconds. Fantastic score. Another one, Kyle Doherty, like you said, 8:56. Daniel Booser, he's one of Emma's guys, 9:34.
Great score,
Another great score. Darren Teagle, 9:24. So we had a good few finishes.
Yeah, and we're, like I highlighted last week on the podcast, Jack Kavanagh coming up on that 9:18. He's rising up that leaderboard. I think we're going to see a really strong finish from Jack next week. Pretty well-rounded athlete from what I know, and like really rising in the ranks in Ireland. And just after that, then Mark Rowan. We were expecting Mark to do really well in that one too. He's a bit of a tank. Familiar faces then as we go down here.
Emmett Murtagh finished 8:53. Shout out to Emmett.
He loves burpees.
Great score, yeah. That's his jam, I'm sure. Ty Lawless, 9:12. Another good one. Louis came in under the 10 minutes. 9:49. Another good possibility to go back to the games.
Yeah,
he could
sure.
do the double. Hope he does. Jamie, we were talking about him. Look at that, 1 second to go. So Jamie got in there. Dano finished. Dano got a good great score, 9:42. Ian Goulding then 9:53, excellent. And then we're starting to see the not finishes, but very close.
Yeah, Craig 1 rep off finishing Craig Lawless.
Wow. Oh, that's close, man.
That is very close. Yeah.
How tough would that be not to repeat?
I know. I would have pegged someone I would have pegged Craig to finish that workout, but you know, pretty much did minus a burpee.
yeah.
So yeah.
Garvin McVerry then. Let's take a look at the ladies, Shane. So I think we have a few finishers here as well.
Yes, we do.
Emma smashed it. Look at that, 7:56.
That's a crazy score.
God damn.
6th in the world with that score.
When you do that workout, if you finish it, it's a 20 rep average a minute. Do you know what I'm saying? So she's probably doing, 24 reps a minute on average for the 8 minutes, around about that.
She might be the best in the world at burpees.
Could be,
as far as like a burpees over a bar go, I don't think anyone really faster. We saw her 20.1. Did Emma win that 20.1 workout?
I'm
barbell,
not sure,
ground overhead and burpees over bar. I think she might have won that in the world. So she's just no stranger to going fast.
10 rounds of 9 and 9 or something like that.
10 rounds of 8 and 10.
8 and 10.
Yeah,
8
so
and 10.
Emma
will be on the show next week as well for the last show. Who else have we? Kerry Hewitt absolutely smashed it again, 9:39. Maria Jenkins did fantastic as well, 9:25. We have Aoife Burke there, always solid. Katie Healy, really fantastic. Mary Kay Foran, look at that, 7 reps away. Wow. I just can't give her enough praise because
phenomenal. She's having a great 2 weeks.
Yeah, great 2 weeks, and you know
she should be well inside that.
She's a new mother.
Inside that cut line for the quarterfinals too.
Absolutely.
If you're pretty much up on the Irish leaderboard in any capacity of top 30, you're pretty much guaranteed inside the quarterfinals because Ireland is so competitive, especially when you've Emma McQuaid at the top of it. So
Claire McGlynn is in there, Chloe Hawkins. Some fantastic scores. There's a lot of people in the 90s, isn't there?
They're very, very close.
The
to
190s.
They're just coming down to those rounds of 2 and 1 to finish the workout.
Carla Harkin, Martha Rochford, Yellow Belly, Jessica Armstrong Patton finished. Excellent
Great
score. 9:43. Amanda Cummins, unbelievable, 9:18, and again a 40+ master. Definitely a great contender for the games. Emma Smith is there. Eddie Pike, young athlete, 195.
5 reps from finishing.
Sarah McLaren, she's a fantastic athlete as well, only 2 reps away from finishing. Who was that one on 16?
Oh yeah, who's that one? Yeah, first time in the show I've had an athlete this far up the leaderboard. So Aoife O'Sullivan, I've been coaching Aoife for about 2 years. Phenomenal athlete, former elite level, high level powerlifter as well. So the barbell was really no bother for her this week.
She was happy to see them
deadlifts. She done this in 9:06, which if I'm not mistaken, she's 146 in the whole world when it comes to that workout. But if I'm not mistaken, there's no one really other than Emma on leaderboard that had a score that fast. Emma was in the 7s, finishing the workout, and Aoife was 9:06 here. So everyone else was kind of like post 9:30 on that. So phenomenal performance.
Shout out to Aoife. And if I'm not mistaken, what you said and what she said, she did it on Friday. She got about 9:28, but she slapped off the ground about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, she's so fast.
So she said, right, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to get I'm not going to trip over the bar. Then I'm going to get a better score. Did it again up in Colin Judge's place.
The box Dublin, yeah.
And about, I think she was going into the 8s, and she got some kind of notion in her head that she had the wrong weight on.
Yeah.
So she stopped the workout. And then, so that was her second time. When she got that 9:08, or 9:06, sorry, Eva, that was her second time within probably an hour or 3/4 of an hour doing the workout.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm probably somewhat to blame, I would say, with that. I have a little strategy for my athletes. So if we have a dumbbell or a barbell in the workout, we always warm up with heavier weights.
Right.
So she had 75 on the bar probably in the warm up, probably took it off and then put 70 on and was starting to work it because the weight is obviously 70 kg for females. And just for some reason got a notion in her head that it was too heavy going through, but regardless, she smashed it. I wonder if they penalise you for having too heavy a weight in CrossFit.
I don't think so. I think because
I never heard that rule before. So
you won't, because with the pounds and the kilos, sometimes you do go over in weight.
Yeah.
So if it's X amount of pounds, then sometimes you can't get the right weight, so you can go over.
Yeah, I think 155
but you can always go over,
pounds
but you can never go under.
70.4 kg or something. 70.5 rounded up or something like that. But yeah. So well done, Aoife. Representing CrossFit Waterford obviously as well. So
absolutely, brilliant. Yeah. Shout out to Aoife again. Lorraine Kelly did fantastic. 9:44, another finisher. Emma Willis 184, 182, and Emma Friday then finished it as well. So, you know, we did see a good few finishes throughout the whole thing, didn't we? I was, I'm not surprised at that, but it's great to see that, you know, say even Emma Willis, when she did it on the announcement show, she didn't finish. Laura Horvat was 9:31, I believe.
Yeah.
So to see that, you know, the Irish athletes pulling them kind of times is fantastic. What are we going to see now next week? It has to be a mashup, doesn't it?
I think we're going to see, I think a guarantee is going to be a double under, a thruster with a barbell, or maybe a front squat like we saw last year. And I think a heavy lift. I liked the format last year of they had 0.3 and 0.4, so it's 2 separate scored events rather than 1 scored event for 3, because I think it helps round out and separate people. Because if it's very gymnastic like it was last year with a barbell, the gymnast will just fly through it. But if you're not such a gymnast, as in that's not your speciality in CrossFit, you're more of a barbell person, then you have a chance on that 0.4 to put up some heavy weights. So I think we might see something. If they did clean complex last year, maybe something like a snatch. But if they're trying to keep it still accessible, you might still just see a clean. Or maybe just shoulder overhead for a heavy one or something like that. So pull up bar gymnastics, double unders, thrusters, and maybe a heavy barbell then.
Logically, we're going to see some kind of a mishmash. I'm still thinking that it could be 21.3, you know, because it's very unusual. They never have not repeated a workout.
Yeah.
And logically, if you look through all the workouts and stuff like that, that would be definitely a contender for.
I was thinking that myself. I was like, I can't see any other repeat workouts, because there was one, I think it was 19.4. One of our coaches here, Darren, sent it to me during the week. It was, this is one that I could see coming up again. Had bar face and burpees in it, so I don't see it coming up after this. Because I had bar and muscle ups in it too. But that could definitely just be a repeat last year with the same complex and everything. But we'll see. You never really know what comes out of the hopper there. So
we never know. So that's it for us for today, guys. Season 2, episode 2. We will be back with season 2, episode. Sorry, this is 4, isn't it, Shane? It is 4.
Yes.
Season 2, episode 5 on Friday. We're going to take a look at 22.3. We'll take a look at the leaderboard, see what's going on, and we will do the workout first, won't we? And then we'll maybe pop on and
see how it feels.
We'll give you a little rundown on what we felt and see if we can give you any hints and tips. Until then, take it easy.